Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. We are your hosts, Vidas Pinkevičius
and Aušra Pinkevičienė.
We've been mastering secrets of organ playing for more than 20 years and sharing them on this blog since 2011.
On this show, which we create from our home in Vilnius, Lithuania, we strive to help you grow in every area of organ playing, including practice, technique, repertoire, sight reading, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, harmony, and many others.
Our hope is to help you become a complete musician, or what we call as total organist, a program which we have created to help you reach your dreams faster than you would do on your own.
If you are new here, we invite you to subscribe to receive free updates of this blog at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
And now let's go to the podcast for today. Welcome, James, to episode 484 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. I'm very excited to be able to talk to you, and I talked to you for another episode in the past about your 12 recitals over 12 months. That was a big adventure you were sharing at that time, and I know many things have changed since that time over a couple of years, right? So can you tell us a little bit more what you're doing and what is your current situation?
Yes, so after those 12 recitals, I was pretty tired. So then the following year, I didn't sign myself up for that many recitals. And by that stage, the recital series picked up with interest and other performers wanted to play as well. So that took a lot of the pressure off it. And I've always been a subscriber to your email list, and I liked reading all the podcasts, and I follow you on Facebook, all those social things. And for some reason, there was probably a period of about 6 months, I stopped seeing your posts on Facebook. I'm like, where have you gone? What's happened? Anyway, during 1 week, I saw a post, an email about your Secrets of Organ Playing competition, and I said, "Oh, that's interesting." But I thought I'd see how it went for the first few weeks and see what the standard was like and whether it was doable and appropriate for me to enter. And I think it was week 7 when I joined, and ever since then I've been hooked, and you've roped me into this social network blockchain called Steam, and I can't stop recording myself. And that's where I am today.
Yeah, I should have introduced you more formally, probably. James Flores is our guest today, and he is a man of many things now. Not only an organist in Albury, in Australia, New South Wales, right?
Correct.
Is your province, but also he is also IT magician, as I can testify myself, and also very interested in all kinds of technological developments, new technologies which can revolutionize the world potentially, and make many good changes for musicians, for example, right? Organists. So since that last time, we've been chatting with James over social media, platform called Steam, and I have this opportunity to do the Secrets of Organ Playing contest every week. And James has been a constant, diligent, and faithful participant every week after week, and recording even more than it is required. He constantly puts up a lot of his other posts and creative ideas online, and also shares his other videos not required to the contest itself. So I've seen his work over this year and a half so much on Steam, so that he's become like a team member to me. Really, we've been chatting every day about all kinds of things, about organ related things, about Steam related things. So it's wonderful. Thank you so much, James, for being part of this community. I'm really grateful to you.
Thank you for taking me under your wing and introducing me to Steam. I mean, it's really a great place to share your work. You know, we have YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, but you know, what's the value of a like? It's just an ego boost, I think. But other than that, how else can we as musicians can find sort of some financial freedom? It's very hard to make a living from YouTube. Yeah, I've certainly had a lot more engagement on Steam than any other social networking platform, and it's a lot smaller than any other social networking platform too. And one of the things I like about it also, there's not as much negativity on Steam, whereas Facebook you'll find a lot of trolls, and same with Instagram.
Well, exactly. They say reward the behavior you want to see in people, right? So they reward your positive activities, your content sharing, your ideas, your upvotes. They reward. So people are compelled to be nice to each other, say positive things, even sometimes too much, right? In hopes of easy returns, and recognize those people when they say good job, good post, nice picture, without even reading a post. So those people we know quite well, and can recognize if the person can really associate with our work and have read deeply or not, right?
As you said, we could probably record a piece of music and halfway through just do something completely inappropriate and finish off with the piece. So then you could be able to find out who actually watched it.
Yes, that would be funny. And I'm sure a number of people would have watched, but a very small number, right? Yes. So James, how do you like this contest that you're participating week after week, Secrets of Organ Playing Contest?
No, it's great. It gives me a weekly goal, and it's also building up a portfolio of music that I can refer to later on.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, there's been some weeks where it's been difficult, but you don't have to present a major Bach prelude and fugue every single week.
Or a trio sonata.
Or a trio sonata. Even the slow movements, doesn't have to be the fast ones.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very, very flexible, and you don't have to present repertoire. You can present hymns or improvisations, which I haven't got into yet, but we've had some entries that have been hymn playing, which is a bit different as well. So it's really flexible, and it's just a shame that there's only a few of us that do it. It's quite a fun exercise.
You know, James, you said two things that it's a very motivating way to practice when you record and you have a weekly goal, right? But the second thing was also intriguing, that you build up a library of your videos which you can later repurpose. For example, I know you have recently published your CD, right? And these pieces have been partially, at least, inspired by your activities on Steam.
Yes, correct. Some of the actual recordings are on the actual CD. yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do it if I wasn't participating in the contests from week to week.
Yes. So tell us a little bit more about your CD project. What inspired you to compile a CD collection, and also what is in it? What pieces have you recorded?
Yes, so the CD, I really didn't actually plan the CD, but my former teacher, who still comes to Albury every couple of weeks to teach at the church here, he said, "Oh, the anniversary of the organs is going to be this year, 25th anniversary. 25 years ago, the church burnt down, and they lost the original organ, and then we got this Latorno organ put in 1994. So he said you should do a CD to celebrate this 25 years." And I kept putting it off, and I didn't have the vision to complete such a big project. But then I thought to myself, hang on, I've got all these recordings, and I can just add a few more, and I can put the CD together and try and make it as balanced and audience friendly as possible. It would be nice to have a full CD of quiet music, for example, or a full CD of 21st century contemporary organ music. So I tried to put a good mix of different pieces. So you've got a bit of Bedard in there, transcriptions.
Can you introduce Bedard, because I think his music deserves recognition?
Yes, so he is a French-Canadian composer, and his music is based in the French Romantic style, and they're very accessible pieces. They're not overly difficult, and I always joke to people, because they always kind of mention to me that I play a lot of his music, that I'd be the first person in Australia to play his complete works, and that's been playing on my mind for a few months. But he's still got a lot of music I've still got a lot of music to learn of his collection. But it might be a project for one day.
What is his full name?
Dennis, or Denny Bedard.
Denny Bedard. Okay. What else are you playing in this CD?
Gosh, let me have a look. I can't remember.
Probably some Bach, right?
Yeah, so I did a selection of the 8 short preludes and fugues. That's in the middle of the CD. I play 3 transcriptions: the Jesu Joy of Man's Desiring, the Adagio in G minor, that's wrongly attributed to Albinoni, and Handel's aria from Concerto No. 12. And at the end of the CD, there's a little Telemann piece, De Monsieur Attende Domine, and I finish up with the Percy Fletcher Festival Toccata.
Excellent. So have you recorded those pieces specifically for the CD, or you took the audio from the videos that you recorded for the competition?
The 8 short preludes and fugues, they were from the competition. Remember when I recorded one every week? I think I started off with one of them.
Yeah.
And you told me, oh, well, that's the end of the 8 short, you can go now. And I think you mentioned something about, oh, there's an entire Krebs collection of something else that I could play. No, but yeah, most of these, I'd say 65% of the CD was from the competition. And the rest was from just pieces that I've been preparing for future concerts. And I recorded them all in the same way. So it's so they all sound consistent.
It's a very wise strategy, I think, to repurpose your work and create another life for them in a CD collection, in a CD section or setting, because on YouTube videos people are watching them online. But with CD, you could give gifts, right? The physical gifts to the members of your congregation, to the to your fans overseas. You can sell the CD to. Anything can be done with this physical product now, and it's good that you are doing repurposing, I think.
It's like cross-posting on social media.
Yeah, definitely. If you write a blog post and you only put it on your own blog, right? Then only your own subscribers will see it. Probably maybe some people, a handful of people who come from Google maybe to your blog in the future. But if you cross post it to let's say Medium or Quora or Facebook and Twitter and Steam, right? You get much larger audience, and sometimes even like multiple streams of revenue because of new technologies, right? So James, you tell me a little bit now, what challenges have you encountered in the way of making the CD? What was difficult for you? I mean, probably those 35% of pieces that were specifically recorded for CD probably had to be set up, microphone, audio, equipment, and then later editing is quite challenging for a purpose like that.
Yeah, so I guess for the competition, I had to record, once every week. But yeah, it was an effort, having to put the recording device down in the nave and sync up the audio and video together. So from that sense, it was a big task. But once I had them, it wasn't too difficult to put in. I think it was harder to select what I wanted on the CD.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is another post for Steam, just behind the scenes of how the CD is created. And
yeah, that would be very interesting. Not only for Steam, but for your community elsewhere, anywhere. For example, for our community at Secrets of Organ Playing, people would be delighted to know behind the scenes work that it took for you to produce the CD and select the pieces. Yeah.
And then I was lucky to have my wife Lisa to design the artwork, that's another little project in itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a lot harder if you have to work with someone external, but I'm one of those people who can just go to her and say I want this there, and but I basically let her take the reins on the design, because I trust her judgment in
we have to mention that James's wife Lisa is a fabulous graphic designer and illustrator. So not only she produces graphic design for or artwork for projects like that for other people, not only for James but for companies, I would presume,
Yes.
corporate work, but also she is an illustrator, right? And she recently has been participating in our Pinky and Spiky contest very well, and
Yes.
drawing cartoons with her graphic tablet, I presume. And it really amazes me, her creativity and sense of humor and wit. And even she was selected as a guest judge to select the winners for the last week's Pink and Spiky contest. So I really admire her creativity and what she is coming up week after week in terms of visual material too. Excellent. So please continue talking about the challenges. I know Lisa helped you with the design. What other works have been in the project itself?
So I guess finding a company that would press the CDs, do everything for you, like print out the covers, the inlay, the actual design on the actual CD, and actually, burning the CD. I'm certainly not going to do it myself. To burn 1,000 copies would take a very long amount of time. yeah. So I'm all for outsourcing things. You know, time is money, unfortunately. And time
Even
is
more, I
something
think. Even more.
yeah.
They say time is money, but you see, you can earn money. You can earn
Mm.
lost money. You can make up your lost money, but you cannot make up time, which is lost.
No.
Right? Time is
So
more important.
my cousin recommended me a place in Sydney that does all these things because he's worked with them before. So I went on his recommendation, and yeah, and the other part was I had all the audio files, but I have no experience in putting it onto a CD, putting it into CD quality, CD appropriate quality. While it's fine to share what I have online, for a CD, you want it to sound in a way that's suitable, for playing in a car. You don't want to have to turn it up all the way, and then the next track is too soft, and you have to turn it up even further, and the next track's too loud, turn it down. So
Right.
I'm not sure what the correct term is, but to normalize or
Equalize.
equalize or master the CD.
Mm-hmm.
I went on another recommendation from Tormus 1958.
Yes.
He is a friend of ours on Steam. He recommended a person that does that in Sydney. So I sent him all the files, and I paid him to master the CD for me. And yeah, and I sent all those files over to the CD pressing company, and that was pretty much it. It sounds so simple now when I'm talking about it, but at the time it was frustrating, emailing back and forth and double checking everything's correct. And there was actually one thing I did forget to put on the CD was the actual date.
Oh.
So after all that, I still forgot to put the date, but you could still work out the date because I wrote something about the organ being placed or being installed in 1994 and the CD celebrating 25 years. So you can work out the approximate, or 2019 from that. But yeah, we're not perfect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. I've seen your unboxing post when the CDs arrived to your home, right? By post. It was
Yeah.
a really magical experience. I remember when I self-published my own CDs with Kunaki self-publishing service. I also got them sent to my house in small batches, and I unboxed them. And it was really something. I put them on the table, made a picture, photo. We did a little celebration with OSHA. We released 3 CDs at once, our duet collection, and then 2 solo CDs, one for me, one for her, and of course shared it on social media. So this kind of picture really took off and went a little bit of viral. So have you shared your unboxing post elsewhere besides Steam?
Yes, I have on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
On Facebook.
Have you received some engagement with this post?
Yes, but not as much as I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not easy to do it online. I think for this physical product, it's much easier to sell at the end of a recital or a service. So I think, when I give my next recital, I'll just bring some CDs along, and I think it's easier that way for this type of product.
Exactly. When you play somewhere physically, you bring in this physical product, CDs, and people, if they like you're playing, some of them, percentage of them will buy it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you need more engagement on Facebook, I think posting a picture of those CDs is more beneficial than posting a link to the article itself, because algorithms of Facebook now prefer native content, and of course native pictures much more, unless you are paying them for ads. Yeah.
I've done it in the past. It doesn't work.
No,
Yeah, well,
I
people
know.
still see. I mean, you just think about how you react to an ad. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'll save that for later, but you don't go back to it anymore.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yes, so I'm glad I ordered a few of those CDs. I will be I think receiving them this week, because you sent me a notification that it's already in Vilnius in a postal service somewhere.
Yes.
So I should maybe go to church and to my church and see what happens. Maybe they already have received it, or
Yes.
maybe there is a message for me to go to the postal office to pick up. But definitely they will serve as a great gifts for my friends and students. Some of them, for example, Diana Danilova, or her nickname on Steam is Drugelis, which in English means butterfly. She is also a member of our Unda Mari studio at Vilnius University. So I think I will give her a gift, your CD, because she also is a very active participant in our contests whenever she is ready, because she's really complete beginner. She started this last September.
She's playing trios, which is quite difficult.
Yes, we have to congratulate her advancement. Maybe one of those days I will interview her about her organ playing activities on the podcast too.
And she's drawing for Pinky and Sparky as well.
Yeah, she's been really an active member of the community, not only Pinky and Spiky, but also Activate reports. She's using a few of the apps that Steam blockchain offers now. So I think she is quite involved in the community. Yeah. I will give your CD to my friend and colleague Paulius Grigonis because I think he knows you personally now through Facebook too, and really appreciates what you are doing. And I will give I will keep one for myself, of course, and then I'll give one more to some other organs that I know in town that would appreciate. Wonderful. So we talked about things that you're working on. Now that actually CD is finished, right? And you are ready to do your next project. Are you thinking about the future? What could that be for you?
Yeah, it's kind of a good time at the moment because there's no pressure. There's no immediate pressures. I've got a couple of more recitals, but they're not too scary, I suppose. It's just a matter of keeping the pieces on the boil. Yeah, I think a lot of my time has been taken up with Steve at the moment on the IT side, but also I do want to spend time with improvisation. I know that you've been trying to get me to start, and I keep putting it off. So I really will make an effort with what's left with this year to get started on improvising.
James, it's a very good thing that you mentioned this your improvisation dream, right? You want to learn to improvise like many people do. And
it's been my dream for a long time, even when I first contacted you.
Really?
Years ago. I think I asked you about the courses and
yeah.
And I'm still asking to this day.
So, but of course it's scary, right? And
it's scary.
You now have the habit of recording yourself and putting your work out there on YouTube. But there is one thing that is still scarier with improvisation, because with repertoire playing, you're no longer a beginner, you're a quite advanced organist. You can play a lot of difficult repertoire. But with improvisation, you will have to start someplace, right? And this
Yes.
new place might not be what you've been accustomed to hearing other people play and yourself play, right? Your taste might be better than your skill at the beginning, right? With improvisation. But I have a solution. You can still record and put your work out there, but not make it public, not make it video public for all YouTube to see, but make it unlisted, only for people who have the link to your video to see it. And very few people will only be able to see it, right? But put it on Steam instead of Facebook, let's say, because on Facebook you have many organist friends, and some of them might, I don't know, critique you too harshly or ridicule you for not being a latri virtuoso. I know those people, and they usually never put themselves out there and never bother to create, only to critique. Don't pay attention to those critics anyway, but you can protect yourself from that, of course, by making your work and sharing it selectively on, let's say, on Steam. And you've been receiving good positive feedback on Steam, so you can anticipate helpful feedback on Steam anyway. And you can still motivate yourself to practice and record, having a deadline of some sort. There is a new competition that a tribe called Sonic Groove announced recently, Sonic Groove Live. So those kinds of videos could be perfect for that too. Or for our Secrets of Organ Playing too. It doesn't really matter what you're playing. You could, as you say, you could play hymns, you could play the repertoire, you could improvise, you could even play a C major scale if you want.
As long as it's
if that's your thing.
As long as it's not on a synthesizer, it has to be on an organ.
Yeah, we had another participant who is not an organist participate in this contest for a number of weeks, and I finally decided to pull the plug and say it's for organists. You have to have an instrument that is in some sort resembles the pipe organ. Even if it's electronic, it should sound like organ, like pipe organ, right? Yeah. And so yeah, there are other, of course, contests that he could participate in besides Secrets of Organ Playing. Wonderful. So James, what are some of the things that are inspiring to you at the moment?
Watching your improvisations.
Oh no, not that thing again. What is more inspiring to you, watching me improvise or improvising yourself?
Well, I need ideas, and as you said, I just have too many ideas, and none of them come out because there's just too many. And I think what you mentioned to me is just limit yourself to 4 pictures, but you can play them in any octave and any registration, and see what I come up with. And I tried it a few times without recording, but I don't know. I think I don't have any structure to it. I need to think about it more.
You could you could actually have structure by selecting 4 more pitches for the middle section, and then coming back to the previous A section. ABA form, like that, very simple. And maybe 1 minute or 90 seconds would be for each section, and your piece could be anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes, and it would be quite interesting, I would say, if the picture, if the notes would be contrasting enough.
But there's still a lot of choice with registration as well. So you have, 4 notes in the A section, 4 notes in the B section, but then you have a lot of choice with colors and sounds. It's just, that's overwhelming. Maybe I just have to limit myself to one registration.
I see your digital organ at home with two manuals behind you, right? You have two manuals and pedals. So one, let's say one section could play on a lower manual, and the B section could play on the upper manual, and then come back to the lower manual. And you could choose a constant registration, let's say principals for section A, reeds or flutes for section B. It's contrasting enough, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't
That
have
sounds
to.
good.
You don't have to change the registration every 4 measures.
But when I watch you, it's just a gradual crescendo. It's just amazing. And then, yeah.
Oh, in those videos, what I do is I tell a story, musical story.
Yes.
And then, of course, anything works as long as it is interesting. But then I still need to think about the form and structure, and I have to come back to previous ideas to do recapitulations, to do some things that people could recognize in terms of musical themes and in terms of registration too, and perhaps textures, let's say solo melody, trio texture, chordal texture, what else, polyphonic texture, imitations if I want, canons work very well. People could recognize those things. Oh, I heard this before, you know, and that gives them structure.
Yeah, there's one actually, I watched a few of your videos. I think there was one on the Mixolydian mode or something, and it actually, that was actually quite helpful. Very simple improvisation. And there was another video you did where you were just playing a single note in the pedal and you kept repeating it like a bird call.
Yeah.
And everything else on there. That was life-changing. It's just this constant ring in the background, and you know, you're playing all these harmonies around it.
What I did there is just simply selected a mode, octatonic mode, with half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step in the pitches, and I played parallel chords up and down very slowly in, I think, 4 notes, 2 notes in left hand, 2 notes in the right hand, and then I played some very high pitched C. I repeated C in the pedals. I would say flute 4 maybe in the upper range, short staccato notes, right? Like a heartbeat maybe, or something very constant, like a drop of water, drop of rain maybe. Could be what I was thinking at the moment. I can't recall, but you have to think about the imagery, what you want to tell in terms of story, right? What kind of picture you want to paint in musical means, and that helps. Having a decent acoustical environment, of course, really helps too. If you're practicing at the home, is just one thing, right? But when you transfer it to the big church with large acoustics, cathedral maybe, it's completely different feeling. Especially if it's instrument unfamiliar to you, and you have to adjust, and you have surprises throwing at you all the time, and you have to deal with them, not panicking. Yes, when you make mistakes, you can use them to your advantage.
You repeat them.
Exactly. Repeat and develop them. Yeah, they've become turning points. So wonderful, James. I'm so happy that we met those couple years ago when we talked about your 12-month recital series. I don't suppose you want to repeat them anytime soon.
No.
It's very stressful, right?
It's you know how we talk about crypto, and you can't have yourself invested in too many different cryptocurrencies. You're spreading yourself out too thin. That's what I feel that it is. If it's not your full-time job, to be a concert organist. It's, you're definitely spreading yourself out too thin. So I'd rather focus on fewer performances, but make them a lot more satisfying and a lot more memorable.
Mm-hmm. But I'm glad you did that project because it gave you
Yes.
something, right?
Yes.
Probably you would be a different organist today if you haven't had that challenge.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big motivational boost, and yeah, in terms of performing and not being anxious about performing. I don't really get those feelings that overwhelm me anymore. It's just another performance on a different day.
Mm-hmm. What will you be practicing tonight?
I already did it before I talked to you.
Oh.
I was practicing another Percy Fletcher piece called Fountain Reverie.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if I'll record it for the contest or not. Yeah, well, this week's contest entry will be a surprise, and I think it will make you laugh.
Oh, I'm very anxious then.
Oh, it will make you laugh so hard.
Oh, great.
Yes.
This week it's a free week. You can put whatever you want, right? Every week is basically up to you. But we have this entry word that we use as a way to identifying contestants that they are creating material specifically for that week, not for 2 years before, right? Not for some other project, but for our little contest. And this week's code name is Paint. Paint. And you know why?
Because you're painting.
No, because yes. Because I bought I bought some paint to paint the edges of the roof, and originally it had to be brown, like our cabin is, but I mistakenly bought a red one first. Then Oshra got mad, and I went back to the hardware store and bought some lighter color. I thought it was brown enough, and it was salmon color. So the third time, or actually it was the fourth time, because the first time I actually forgot about paint at all and bought something else like a hedge trimmer, walking poles, tracker poles as they call it, jumpsuit for working, completely different things. And then the last thing was that Osha went with me to the hardware store, and she selected the color, which was chocolate color, and it worked perfectly, quite perfectly. And I painted it, and now it's like original, yeah, without any noticing. So she has much better eye, even though I'm the son of a painter artist. Yeah.
It's funny. You mentioned the contest word. There was another contest on Steam called the Open Mic Competition.
Yes.
They didn't have a word, but you had to announce the week number. But that still doesn't prevent you from recording multiple weeks in advance. You could say Steam at Open Mic Contest week 141, and then in the same recording session, you could do the next week's one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Sure.
change your clothes or something. Whereas your competition is unique. You have to present the word every week, and you don't release the word until the contest is finished. So it's truly preparing a piece, or not preparing it, recording a piece in 1
Mm-hmm.
week.
And of course, it's limited to video recordings, because with audio you can edit quite nicely so that you don't even know who is playing sometimes. Yeah, in a sense it's a little bit sad to me, because it limits the number of people who are more comfortable with audio, for example, they cannot participate. We have some organists like that.
Yeah.
They don't have a camera, for example, or a decent cell phone to record. But they could record an audio piece, but I'm hesitant to change the requirements because then we might have some abuse.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it involves monetary prizes, and we had some abuse before, I think, too. Not necessarily in this contest, but in other situations on Steam. So,
and I noticed that in the open mic competition, you know, they still say to state your name and week number, but when I watch some of the videos, people have been, you know, say announcing the contest number, but then it cuts to a different scene and it's a different, you know, recording. You don't know. It should be done in one take without any edits.
yeah,
That's you truly know, and it's a valid entry.
Sometimes when I recorded for Steam Open Mic contest, I recorded myself, for example, live on Facebook using my cell phone. And you know, the cell phone has two cameras, one front camera and one rear camera. And when I introducing my video, I'm talking into the camera and say, now I'm going to change the other camera to face the keyboards. And at that point, I could really edit and cut and paste something really entirely different. But I don't, of course. But some other people could. Yeah. So I'm not sure if it's all allowed over there, but I did it. It looks like editing, of course, but it was done live.
It's not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was live. So excellent. Now, of course, you have practiced. Do you like sight reading, James, or do you prefer polishing a piece over and over again?
A bit of both. I mean, the last entry I did, I had to learn that piece that partitura uploaded. I had to learn that in a week. So yeah, I do like sight reading.
Mm-hmm.
That's another idea for a contest is, you know, releasing a piece that no one's seen before or unlikely to have seen and play it in 1 week. But that also limits the abilities of people, though.
That's right. Have you noticed, James, that your sight reading abilities have improved because of this contest?
Yes, because you have to learn it pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. So there are lots of benefits to participating in things like that. It's a really low pressure event, right? You can skip a week or two if you are traveling. You can come back. You can be as diligent as James is and perform week after week. You can choose whatever skill level you have, not too difficult, not too overextending yourself. Something even sight readable would work, right? But maybe then I will have a hard time judging because other people might present something more difficult and more engaging than easy piece, right? And then the prizes might be distributed differently. But still it's very beneficial, whatever level you are, to participate, I would think. Wonderful. Thank you so much, James. Give my regards and Oshar's regards to your family. I've been really following your wife's Lisa's work very closely, and I'm so happy that she joined our little community on Steam. And I hope to continue to communicate with you over the coming weeks and months, even more. Perhaps not more because we've been chatting every day, every hour sometimes. So I think we're doing okay on that level, on communication. But definitely, guys who are listening to our conversation, go check out James's website, right? Can you tell our listeners where they could find more of your work online and your CD, of course?
Just go to steemit.com /@contrabordon.
Mm-hmm. You're still recommending Steemit, not SteamPeak.
Or Steampeak. Yeah, steampeak.com/@contraboard on.
Mm-hmm. On Steam, there are about 400 apps, different applications that you could use to post your content. And the first original was Steemit.com, and everybody was so accustomed to the Steemit platform that even in branding perspective, it became the face of Steam for a long time.
Yeah.
But as things grew further, community got involved and made many more dApps. You could now post from, I don't know, dozens of different applications, and the most robust now is Steampeak, steampeak.com, I think. And you can find James's work there. Of course, you have jamesflores.com too.
JamesFloresOrganist.com.
Oh, James Flores Organist. There is another James Flores in the world who is taking your...
And I'm trying to get that domain.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like claiming account usernames on Steam. You gotta be quick.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Excellent. So guys, go check out James's profile on Steampeak or Steam or any other place that you want on the Steam blockchain, and also visit jamesfloresorganist.com. There you will find a way to check out his newest CD collection, right? What other things you have on your website at the moment?
There is an outdated blog. Samples of my work, recital schedule. Yeah, it's just basically like a landing page for all the other social platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Do you update your blog frequently?
Well, I did not long ago for my CD, but yeah, probably every 2 to 3 months there's a new post on there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's more engagement on the social media platforms than a blog.
How would it be very difficult for you to cross-post your content, which is related to music and organ, from Steam, let's say, to your own website?
Actually, no, it wouldn't be difficult. I just use that share to Steam application.
I would even I would say as far, because you are a magician in IT technologies now, you could even automate your cross-posting easily, right?
Yeah, I probably could do that, but that's another thing to add to my growing list of things to do on Steam.
I had this idea of automating some of the organ relating posts from Steam to my website too, but since I'm hosting it with Weebly, probably
it's a bit limited. Yeah.
It's different thing. So yeah, you're hosting it yourself probably, so you could do all kinds of things yourself because you are a geek, right?
So are you.
Well, I don't think well, I have some geeky knowledge, but not near enough as you, right? Not nearly enough as you. So anyway, have a great evening, James, in Albury. And are you playing on Sunday in your church?
Yes, I am. Yes.
So practice hard, and
I will.
And I hope your congregation will appreciate what you're doing this and applaud after the postlude.
They're all out the door by the postlude.
Oh, really? They don't listen? They don't listen?
Nope.
Oh, we have to think about some of the ways you could catch their attention at the end. That would be great. But maybe that's for another conversation.
Another conversation, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, and wonderful meeting you face to face. chatting about the things that we both love and enjoy. And I'll catch you online sooner than I expect, probably. Okay, which will be in 5 seconds. Right. All right, James. Any closing remarks for our listeners from Secrets of Organ Playing community? Maybe some advice, some wisdom you could share?
When you practice, miracles happen.
Oh, I heard this phrase before. But you know, James, it's not complete, not entirely true. When you practice, miracles happen, but to some extent, you have to also share your practice someplace. Share your work like you're doing, right? You're sharing it, but
Share the journey,
also
not just the
share it
hype.
in the right places. If you share it on Facebook or YouTube, it's not necessarily the case that miracles will happen. Not anymore, because they changed the algorithm. But if you share it on Steam, then miracles might happen. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So bye for now, and I'm really glad that you're a part of this community.
See ya.
See you. This blog is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online, where you will find courses for every area of organ playing, including technique, practice, sight reading, repertoire playing, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory and harmony, with hundreds of scores and thousands of exercises. Here is what some of the students are saying.
Hugh writes, the sight reading course has helped me tremendously. Thank you very much for your essays, courses, and all your help.
Robert writes, I found the fingerings, registration ideas, and general comments to be excellent.
John writes, I have found your download very helpful. It was really excellent. I have watched some of your teaching videos, and when I read your instructions, I tried to imagine you were teaching me. You may feel disappointed that I am 2-3 days behind, but I am a slow learner, and I have committed to taking the time to get it right, as you say. But the other night my wife commented that she had never heard me play such a detailed melody in the left hand so well. My left hand is generally poor.
Robert writes, it has been a great pleasure in my life of having discovered your courses and material as well as the YouTube work of recordings. You have a calm and pleasant way of teaching.
Ron writes, Hi Vidas and Osha, thank you guys. What a wonderful response to my email note to you. You've got me right, and I feel you understand my level of playing. Yes, at home, and lucky that I have an organ for that reason. I am paying attention to this, and I am going to try this haha no longer secret model. Yes, and I love Cesar Frank too. What is very nice about your blog podcast is that Osha and Vidas are like a Socratic dialogue, and by bouncing things off of each other, so much more information comes out and is expressed. Your comments contain a wealth of information and understanding. I really appreciate this. It is very inspiring and will keep us moving forward.
Would you like to receive the same or even better results that our students are getting? If so, join them at organduo.lt/total-organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to receive free updates of this blog, make sure you do that at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video, how to master any organ composition, and 10-day organ playing mini course.
This was Vidas.
And Osha from Secrets of Organ Playing.
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.